the time, your gateway to the world. AFR! American Freedom Radio. Give it to them.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
All right. Good evening, everyone, and happy Thursday. It is March 7, 2013. Hope you had a lovely day. I thank you for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And tonight we will be continuing the discussion from last week with St. Obi-Wan Kenobi, why the dark night of the soul. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call tonight at 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. And if you'd like to join us on the text chat, that's over at souljourneysradio.com. That's souljourneysradio.com. St. Toby, otherwise known as Tobias Lars, is the author of one of my favorite books, Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls. He is a personal awakening coach and the creator of Course of Awakening.com, and I think you got a lot going on here with your Course of Awakening seminars and spiritualtravelers.com, so check it out. His main site is soulcounseling.com, and that'll take you to all of the good works he is doing. But it's so good to have you back here, Tobias. You came back after I farted in your face last week. That's pretty brave of you.
My God, that was crazy. I guess we needed some comic relief on a topic like this. Obi-Wan Kenobi. The High Priestess, what I call High Priestess, no, I can't say that again. That's too much. I'm going to start calling you the High Master, most venerable, honorable priestess of all of the creation, from the subterranean kingdoms, from the ancient Aztec underworld to all the most high dimensions, to all seven heavens and all seven hells. That is Christie Aphrodite.
Yay! Yeah, I like that. Wow. Can you remember that? Can you say it again?
Hell no.
Oh. Darn. Good thing for archives. I like that nickname, though, Toby. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that's not good. I have to come up with something else. The dungeon mistress of the most Shibboleth, deepest, darkest hate. I'm sorry, that's wrong. Now we turned on a bunch of, well, whoever's listening.
Yeah. No dark dungeon mistresses here, thank you. I think I had to make that clarification on Facebook just yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, people are confusing healers with prostitutes.
With hookers, healers, healers, whatever.
And, that's fine. Okay, but that's not me. Yeah. Oh, and I'm not a healer, by the way, either. So just to get that out there.
You know what's funny? As a symptom, excuse me, a symptom of our unintegrated, unholy, not healed, not whole state, I went and had a massage the other day. And it's so funny. It's like you can tell how they teach them for hours at massage school how to wrap the sheet around your, the danger zone. You know what I mean? Right? You get a massage and it's like, yes, on your stomach, we'll do your whole back and da-da-da-da-da. And then they learn to, you have to stay away from our hips, our genitals, our ass, of course, because the laws are absolutely no touching there. Everywhere else, and how close can you get? Is it 5 inches or is it 2? When does it go sexual? We have this very rigid demarcation of good, evil, good, bad, and it's just a symptom. I'm just pointing it out. I'm not saying we should instantly be able to do it, but that's where we're at. So I was just feeling the energy for the woman massaging me. It's like, she has to fold the sheet under my thighs, and over my butt and make sure she doesn't... How far up my hamstrings can she actually massage before it gets... That's inappropriate, And it's all this weird fear we have. It's like similar to the fear we have at the airport monitors, metal monitors. It's this collective dark side. We're going to be talking to some of the dark night of the soul, dark sides of ourselves, dark shadow aspects of ourselves. So we've dumped. It's like there's a hole in the middle of the village. There's a dark well where we even have this as an imagery, right? You throw things in the well, the deep, dark hole that goes into the Xibalba underworld, right? The deep, dark Hades, the place where the bottomless pit, that's what it is. The bottomless pit, right? And so we want to throw all our evil into the bottomless pit so that it never can crawl back out again. And so that shows up in the symptom of, since in our physical bodies, we've thrown all our evil, our waste goes where? All our waste. Oh, it comes in, we look at it with our eyes, it's beautiful, look how pretty the food is, and then we taste it. Oh, it tastes so good, so enjoyable. And then it goes down where? Into the underworld, right? Once out of sight, out of mind. And it goes down, it takes 7 seconds to go from your mouth down to your stomach. Then all kinds of dark processes happen that we don't really want to know about. Horrible acid. This is hell. This is the beating of the horrible workers and the demons working in the underworld, right? Then eventually it gets into the intestines, and then it gets finally pooped out into the bottomless pit. I mean, as within, so without. We have profaned the holy aspects of ourselves, so then we have created a profane parts of the outer world as well. And this will never feel that. The inner, here, everything's beautiful, but I put on my makeup, I look really good, I work out at the gym, I'm good surface. Yogananda used to say, everyone says to each other, oh, you look good, you're looking good, oh, you're looking good, looking well, looking healthy, right? That's how we greet each other, looking good. But even Jesus said to the people coming to him, it happened to be the Pharisees, they were questioning him, oh, Rabbi, are we allowed to eat some, your students are eating on the Sabbath, they're picking wheat from the field, is this correct? The demonic shit that they do, right? Every religionism has, people that live by the letter of the law, and Jesus finally probably snaps and turns on them and said, listen, you're like whitewashed tombs. You're all beautiful on the outside, beautiful marble, whitewashed, white marble washed tombs. Very pretty, but you're filled with all manner of filth on the inside. He says it to their face. So that's what we've created. We've created an inner world which is icky to us. We think even childbirth is icky.
Yeah.
We're scared of We've so repressed it that it's a cliche that the husband can't handle it. And what's that loud thump in the room? Ha, 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 that was my husband fainting, Because there's some fluid and things coming out of that place he likes a lot, but he's really scared of, and he fell over in the corner, That's how retarded, in this clinical sense of that word, how held back, arrested development, how unevolved, where we're at. It's where we're at right now. We cannot handle, and we aren't looking at the whole, all of us. The god Shiva, I was just talking to Mark this week about this, we were inviting Shiva into hanging out with us. The god Shiva, these are real beings. They're anthropomorphized as well. They're imaginations. They're us, yes. But it's all one fluid soup. Is God a separate being? Yes. Is God you? Yes, both. We are both. So Shiva is both. He has an army of, quote, the dark demons, ghouls, and an army of angels. He doesn't judge things into good and evil. They are what they are, and this is beyond duality, beyond judgment, beyond assigning, projecting judgment. This is a huge leap for people, beings, individual souls as they re-merge with God. But I'm using from many traditions now. Isaiah, and somewhere in Isaiah, God says, I create evil. What? God says, I create evil? What is up with that? I'm speaking like, a Jewish rabbi there for a second. What is up with this? He says he creates evil. This cannot be. Right? But it is. because it is all from one source. Now, it can be twisted upside down. It is only when we deny it in ourselves, when we deny, quote, these natural energies in us, that then they can become twisted. Like I've said before, if you take a young, beautiful child, or if I take the young puppy we have right now, she's 4 months and a week old, right? Beautiful, innocent puppy, Gabby. She's so sweet, Gabriella. And if I start terrorizing her, I can take a golden retriever female puppy and I can turn her into a demon by judging her, hurting her, rejecting her, scaring her, traumatizing her. I could take that most innocent being and turn her into a vicious, fearful dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can do that to ourselves as well by rejecting parts of by hurting, by terrorizing ourselves, by scaring ourselves, by judging ourselves, by traumatizing ourselves. Then we turn these natural energies, the natural beauty of a lion or anything, a crocodile even. There's people out there who make friends with crocodiles.
Yeah.
What could you think is more scary? A crocodile. It's not even an alligator. Alligator's kind of tame compared to a crocodile. There's guys in Australia making friends with big-ass saltwater crocs, you know?
Yeah.
So it's all possible. It's our judgment and our patterns. I'm not recommending tomorrow you fly to Australia and go out into the saltwater crocs and go, hello, I'm your friend. You will get...
Oh, man, is that what I'm doing wrong?
You'll most likely get eaten because you are not at the level of Daniel in the lion's den. You're not at the level of the lion shall lay down with the lamb, as Jesus was entering into, or where Sri Yukteswar Yogananda's teacher, one day they're sitting in the ashram. Don't make any fun of that word now. I know. We all go, it's the ashram. Beavis and Butthead just showed up. See, it's not good. But they're sitting in their, how about their sanctuary, and a cobra. Cobras are pretty darn intense snakes. They're like rattlesnakes, basically, energetically, a little more refined in one way. No offense to the rattlesnakes, since I hang out with them. They might come and talk to me if I say that.
Tobias is a snake. I mean, yeah, he loves snakes.
We heard what... Yeah, I'm going to bypass that comment. So one day, from the sacred to the profane, but that's exactly what we're dealing with. It's all sacred. It's all holy. It's all holy. It is all holy. That's your mantra. It is all holy. It is all holy. It's amazing. One day Yogananda Sri Yukteswar sitting there. Cobra comes crawling across the floor. Yogananda is young. He starts freaking, kind of go, wow, we got to get rid of it. And Sri Yukteswar says, no, just relax. Slow down your breathing. In fact, you need to back off a little because you have too much fear in you. And Sri Yukteswar let the cobra comes up onto him, laid on his feet in his lotus posture, and stayed in his lap. Wild cobra, not some, cobra they pulled the teeth out that some street snake charmer is showing you in India. It's a difference. Amazing, because he could do that. Because so when you're at that level, then the lion lays down with the lamb. But that is the test is, if you have healed, cleaned yourself out inside yourself enough. My friend Keith used to go out and, when we'd first be exploring the canyons up here about 20 years ago in Arizona, he was better at this than me because I just grown up kind of, the way we do in the Western civilization. And the deer would feel really safe with him. The wild deer that do get hunted once or twice a year, whatever the hunting season is. So they're not totally, tame. Obviously, they're wary of humans. The deer would come up to him, but he'd have to walk away from me because I still carried some old programming energies inside me. And so he would walk off 100 yards, and I could watch the deer come up to him. And part of me, and it would trigger stuff in me, some of my dark stuff, like, what's wrong with me? I suck. Or, wow, that's really beautiful. Or, I'm jealous, All those things. Trust your triggers is one of the videos on YouTube I put up recently. This is the healing. To really have real healing is very different than understanding all about it. Real healing is doing the energy work. And that energy work necessarily, because you have not avoided all your good feelings, what's the stuff we avoid? What do we throw into the void? What we're throwing into the void is the stuff that's irritating, nagging us, scaring us, terrifying us, that we've judged. So we've created this bottomless pit full of our own judgments, usually trapped in our chakras, in our actual compressed into our energetic system. So as we start saying, I want to heal, become whole, the universe says very wisely, okay, here's a little bit of your own crap from 1,000 years ago. Can you deal with it? And then you go into a freak out and go, I better go get a corporate job immediately, and immediately start taking Vicodin and Wellbutrin and everything I can to avoid actually having to feel any darn thing, and I want to actually have perfect clean. I want to take showers 3 times a day, clean my genitals with special implements. I want to make sure I whiten my teeth, get fake breasts, and have butt implants put in and calf implants. I want to look and be perfect, but I never want to feel those things again. Right?
That's evil. That's dark.
Right. So that's the pattern. That's what we're doing, and I'm pointing out. I'm really not making fun of it. I'm trying to explore and explain and show it, So at some point in our soul's journey, and not to go looking for this stuff. See, there's enough sadomasochists of us out there. We're sort of drama queens inside us that will go, oh, someone talked about the dark night of the soul. I'm going to go through my dark night of the soul. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
No, don't go looking for it, please. It'll come and find you when the time is ready.
It sure will. Good advice there, Tobias. But it is that time. We have to take a short break, so hang on, everyone. We will be right back. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifilan brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifilan. There's nothing else like Modifilan. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifilan banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules. No rules. No taboo topics. No taboo topics. No fear of doom. No fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com, and we are talking about the dark night of the soul tonight. Does there have to be pain and suffering? But yeah, Tobias, speaking of the cobra and crocodiles, I would definitely be more inclined to go hug and kiss on a crocodile and a cobra than most humans walking around today. I don't know. Must be me.
Yeah, I understand that. So listen, I understand. We were talking about crocodile encountering wild animals during the break. I was listening to the song again. He says the birds and the trees, everything was so simple, beautiful, and then he got schooled and educated on complicated and dependable a good worker bee,
We were all friends till we were educated and learned to hate and fear everyone.
Interesting. Exactly.
Yeah.
And yet
come on, you've seen like Snickers with possums and coons and kitties and birdies and squirrels and, I think it's totally natural what you're saying in the animal world for other species to be friends with one another. And, there might be a little, when dogs meet for the first time, they do the little growl and, sniff butts, but then they're friends. But it's like this human thing, the separation.
Yeah. And people will say, come on, nature is cruel. Well, when you fall away from nature, nature is a reflection. So when you fall away from nature, she falls away from you. In a sense, you get what you expect, you know? Like those stories I've told about the little 3-year-old girl lost in the Superstition Mountains. She was fine for 3 days. Yeah. Completely fine. She said the tall lady in the white dress took care of me, you know, and showed me where the water was and, you know. And what tall lady in the white dress? Well, whatever. She's fine after 3 days. How can you survive 3 days in 110-degree heat out in the cactus, you know, stuff out in the Superstition Mountains? Yeah. So, if we could take
then
calls,
we're taught to be afraid of nature. We're afraid to be taught to be afraid of animals. We're taught to be afraid of the sun. We're taught to be afraid of the water. We're taught to be afraid of the plants. It's ridiculous.
Right. Is it okay with you if we take callers in the second hour? Is that all right with you?
Well, sure. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
we got to
let
Toby set out the platform.
So we can get into the topic some of the Dark Knight. So what happens, it's funny that the Dark Knight, the movie, Batman movie, you know, with Heath Ledger got absorbed. We mentioned it briefly last time, too. He got absorbed in that darkness of the psychopathic killer, the Joker, right? And not Jack Nicholson's kind of fluffy Joker, kind of cartoony Joker, but sort of more like the real psychopathic killer. Now, these ideas all exist in our collective consciousness and the morphic fields out there. So when actors tap into them, they can get kind of possessed or let those energies into their bodies. And that can be funky to get back out of if you don't know what you're doing, you know? And so, God bless him, but Heath Ledger might have gotten caught in some of that crazy energy and you know, with numbing the pain or whatever went on. So you have to be careful wading into these waters. You don't want to... You want to take care of your own energies. You want to heal yourself. And then later, if you get a mandate or if you want to help, like St. Francis used to help people around him, he would take on some of their energies. And master yogis do, these gurus can do this too. You take on disciples or devotees or someone you're helping. You can work that energy out through your body. That is not meant to be done a lot because if then nobody learns anything. If you keep, often in relationships or families, there's one person that's carrying energy for other people. That's like going on a hike and making one person carry all the backpacks.
Yeah.
And that's not the way it's meant to do. God could save, instantly fix source, the large consciousness, our higher selves, could instantly fix any ailments we have or any stuff instantly, right now. But often we don't learn anything from that. It's sort of like, you know, I had a staple in my stomach, but I'm still eating the same way I did, so I have massive complications, right? The quick fix isn't always helpful. It's kind of an emergency measure to do that. I'll help save you from that. Often God, quote, lets us suffer or go through the dark night. Why? Because there's something in there for us to see, to heal, to clean, to learn, to humble us, to gain the wisdom from it. Now, the suffering only feels like suffering if you're resisting it. I know that's easy to say. But it is all just literally energy. And if you watch a dog, again, throw up, if you feel into the dog while they're throwing up, they are not feeling bad. It's just something that's happening. They are not suffering the way we suffer with it. Well, I'm nauseous. I feel terrible. Really? The dog, but in a natural state, watch babies throw up. They're not feeling pain with doing it.
Yeah.
It just happens. It's just something occurring. Something is happening. Something is happening is different than, I've labeled this as horrible, this is going to hurt, I'm going to be super nauseous, I'm going to feel bad. Well, if you expect all that and you have all that programming on it, that's what you get. So going, quote, through healing processes of healing old energies in us. Hi, Gabby. I was just talking to the puppy. Here she comes.
Hi, baby girl. You're a little angel. Do you remember me? She runs.
She's yes. She's like, hello, goodbye.
Oh.
You know, and but that level of innocence, you know, of allowing things to occur. So even if you're during the healing detox process, when you have the flu, Some teachers, like the guy who started macrobiotics, his teacher, Japanese teacher, used to travel around the world, purposely allow himself to catch these incurable diseases, malaria, yellow fever, leprosy, serious stuff, cholera, right? Mm-hmm. In order just to prove that the energy inside the body is bigger than that which is outside. Does that sound familiar? Every teacher will say, greater is he or that which is in you than that which is in the world. Be in the world, not of it. Same stuff. It's the same stuff. But to learn to do this, to experience it. So when our body's having the flu, it is saying, I'm needing to readjust these energies, kick this stuff out. So if you surrender into it, now unless you're going to toxic shock and it's too much, you need to get the infection down. You're trying to heal yourself too fast, right? You can overdo it, right? The body ends up trying to fight off too much. So you can do the same thing on the spiritual path. You want to ask for grace and ask for appropriateness, because all the stuff in your subconscious, if it comes up at once, you will tend to go insane or check out, or just, it's too much. It actually is counterproductive. And so teachers do this wisely too with students. You only present that which is next and can be dealt with. You don't immediately bring up, well, here's your other lifetime where you were this evil bastard and killed people, tortured people, and all this stuff. I'm just going to show it to you and force you to look at it, right? And that person then has to go into denial. It's sort of like the scene at the end of Clockwork Orange, where they've tied Alex down and strapped him down in a chair and put these little implements in his eyelids, so he's forced to watch these movies, right? Mm. That's not God's or the universe's approach. Yes, we all, if you may have been a perpetrator or a victim of horrible things on earth. Doesn't really matter. Like, see, people don't like that. It doesn't really matter which side you played. You're really playing both sides. It takes two to tango. In the duality game, you're playing both sides. That's hard to imagine. Some souls tend to incarnate many lifetimes in a row playing just the victim role, and others will incarnate playing the perpetrator in whatever, child molestation, I don't know, killing, horrible control, soul control, the worst things you could think of. Mm. And then, at some point, the soul will flip, Jekyll and Hyde, and play the other part. Cops often do this. And as things get closer to things merging, there's more and more, you'll often, how many cases don't you hear about of cops being really kind of doing some evil stuff from the judgment point of view, right? Of literally, they have dash cameras in New York a few years ago of guys actually snorting, the cops snorting coke right off the dashboard of the cop car.
Yeah, along with their donuts.
Yeah, just sprinkled. What's that on your donut, officer?
Yeah, we thought they were eating donuts.
Mm-hmm. and vice versa. You know, the people that are pretending to be all holy and beautiful and saintly and together, and then they're really doing nasty soul control or sexual deviant practices in the dark and denial. Can you say Catholic priests? Or any other priest, for that matter. So it's this Jekyll and Hyde syndrome of flipping back and forth because the universe tries to seek balance. And Carl Jung talked about, about the shadow, integrating the shadow. Freud was too much of a wimp, by the way. But, Freud for 10 years, Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis, started this for 10 years, folks. This is the history that's not told to us. Proclaimed the latest miracle cure-all drug. And he did it himself for 10 years. You know what it was? Cocaine.
Wow.
Pure cocaine. I mean, pure cocaine, not cut cocaine.
Okay.
10 years. Promoted it, gave it to his patients. Sigmund Freud, the father of psychoanalysis. Yeah, you could find his letters or writings about miracle, unbelievable, the solution to all our problems. Because he still wanted to escape into those higher, white, finer, white light powdered, fine white powder. I don't have to feel my feelings, just give me the rush and the high. Escaping into the white light is Lucifer's way.
Yeah.
And by the way, don't tell me, Lucifer's the misunderstood, he's the son of the morning star, he's actually the good guy. I understand. I'm just using it colloquially for the mass archetype as we use it, okay? So Lucifer, the angels that want to look really pure and white and beautiful, can you say plastic surgery and the perfect looking bodies and all that scrub perfect worship of the plastic image Beverly Hills? We want to look and be perfect in our energies, but we don't want to feel that which we've thrown into the bottomless pit. So the most beautiful looking angel then becomes the ruler of the bottomless pit because that's his creation.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he has to deal with it. He has constantly to keep them down. He's got to police them constantly. Would you like that job? Would you like to have to constantly police the pit full of these things trying to crawl out of it all the time?
Well, why does anyone feel that they have to police any pit?
Exactly. So that's what we do with ourselves. And our collective reality now has become so much that you're not allowed to be childlike, even though every teacher says that. Become ye as little children. You cannot get into heaven. Jesus says it clearly. He says, unless you become innocent, unless you become like little children, you will not get back into heaven. Hello?
Yeah. No, that's too immature. You're too old to act like that. Come on, grow up.
Right. And what this means is not... Exactly. Not childishness. I mean, children can be evil. Don't tell me about Lord of the Flies and all that stuff, too. I understand. But it has to do with an innocence of transparency and openness. When it's appropriate, It's not always appropriate. But to carry that, to learn to become intimate again, intimacy, into me see, intimacy, into me see. And then share appropriately with other hearts. Everyone else will die, and they should. The mortal world should die. Mort means death. Because if you're not innocence, you cannot get back into total freedom, right?
Yeah.
God does not reveal himself, herself, to the powerful and the wise, but to babes, to babies. Yeah.
So police your own pit, people.
And you can try to look good. Lucifer's trying to look good. He's trying to keep all that pit down there, and he feeds off of all that energy of the torment and the souls and all that energy, and he uses it with black magic to look like an angel of light.
Yes.
But he's always got to keep going back and torturing people to steal their energy. He has to police constantly the pit. Lucifer's head does not rest easy on the pillow.
Yeah.
He doesn't get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're talking truth here, Tobias, but it is that time. We have to take a short break again, so hang on, everyone. And yeah, police your own pit. I like that advice. Stay out of mine. Stay tuned, everyone. We will be right back. SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Yo, what's up? Check this out. The voice of the revolution. American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. right, welcome back, and thanks for joining us here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com with Tobias Lars. He is a personal awakening coach. His website is soulcounseling.com, and the topic tonight, the dark night of the soul. So, I like that advice, Tobias. Police your own pit. Or maybe you didn't say that, but...
Or not, That's what we end up doing. And again, I want to say, with heart, with love, this is not a... Real healing means you have to do real healing. If you want to get to where masters are, and there's many of them, and they're all helpful. They're willing to help us. St. Francis, St. Anthony, Yogananda, Jesus, Buddha, Shiva, Krishna, Mother Mary, Anandamoyi Ma. There's many real teachers, and there's thousands more fake teachers. So you got to make your own. That's a whole other show about telling. We've done that show before. But the real journey home at some point you have to start to reintegrate yourself. You have to embrace and erase and not resist and persist your energies, not just your energies. So some practical methods of learning to feel your energies, instead of being continually caught in your mental chakra when you wake up with what you see and it controlling you from the outside. In other words, that which is outside is grabbing your attention the whole time. Learn to feel your inside energies. Feel your inside energies. And greater are those energies inside me than all that crap out here in the world. Again, Jesus, right?
Yeah.
And learn to actually do that. The inner body awakening is an ancient Shiva technique. And I'm trying to see if... I've met Shiva. He showed up in my town. I know that sounds crazy for me to say. I understand that. All these beings are available to us. Those that have gone before us, that have mastered the energy game, the game of... There's so much help. Thousands and thousands and millions of angels and God himself, God herself, and many forms of God, whatever form you like. And there are, of course, spirits out there that want to get you to hate each other and fight each other over religion. It's really quite amazing that we're that simpletons on the earth. But 85% of humans are programmable. 85% of humans are really kind of low consciousness. I mean, it sounds elitist to say, but that's where we're at. So it's not for everyone to learn to be in charge of themselves, and they still need to learn the hard way. But if you're on the path, if you're listening to this kind of stuff, you're wanting to evolve, wake up, feel better in your body. And the fruits are beautiful. When you feel the inner body, you're going to feel some pain in your bones and restless energies, and it's going to purge you. But then it's going to give you these blissful states of, wow, I didn't know I could feel pleasure and enjoyment and the Holy Ghost and love and spirit and sexual, spiritual, and spiritual, sexual energy together, just bliss energy in my body, in my being. And then you get scared again, or the universe out here tempts you in some way and says, you got to stop doing that. You're just laying around. You got to work hard. And, so this is you have to face down these tendencies in ourselves of losing our attention from that which is important. Mm-hmm. I am important. That which is in the I am is what comes first. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven. Feel your energies first. Do your Kriya Yoga first. Notice this, not as a discipline, unless I have to, but after a while it becomes, I love this. I want more of it. I want the blissful communion. Start doing that. It's just like going to the gym. After you've gone to the gym for a month or so, your body goes, I like it. I want to do it. If you've never done it in your life, you can go 21 times. That's all you need to go. If you can go 21 times, you might have to force yourself in the beginning because of all that resistance and blah, blah, blah. But once you get going, you want to keep going. Well, it's the same with the spiritual path. Once you start going into meditation, it's my bliss. It's like I got nothing else to do. I can just sit here and bathe myself in the holy waters of God. Baptize myself in the holy waters of the Kundalini God energies inside myself. I love it. It's my bliss. Part of me is like, I'd love to go live in a cabin, or somewhere just totally. I met a lady by the well in Sedona here a month ago, She lives up by Taos, New Mexico, up in the hills, and she says, I just have a river running through my backyard and the birds and I come out into the world 3 or 4 times and teach my yoga. Then I could feel part of me going, ooh, I would like that, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
But there's also, you know, you can enjoy and bring that paradise wherever you are. You really can. And that's what I'm practicing with. I know how to do it on the mountaintop. I've done that other lifetimes. I'm practicing with being in the world and enjoying it and not letting it get my goat so much, you know?
Yeah.
And that's, so be honest with that. So the dark night is simply that time when you decide to go, okay, I guess I have to look in the basement and actually clean up all those boxes and the crap we've been throwing down here for 20 years. I got to deal with it, okay? And when you start dealing with it, it's some icky old stuff, old feelings, feeling hopeless, suicidal, pain, it's rage and grief, rage and grief, rage and grief, back and forth, okay? And you don't just want to vent and go into this stuff for no reason, but follow your natural feelings, and those are the thread that will take you home, just like the thread out of the cave, you know, that you left behind you. So those natural feelings will include terror, fear of going crazy, just hopelessness. On total, like, why bother? If you're encountering any of these things, this is normal, okay? Why bother? Why bother with anything? It's useless. Why bother with anything? It's just stupid. That's one. Another one is, I don't want to exist anymore. It's like, I don't want to die, but I don't want to exist anymore. I just want my soul to be snuffed out. I've never wanted existence. I hate you, God, for creating me.
Yes, I've felt that quite a few times, actually.
All right. So when you're hitting that space, this is a common archetypal experience for every soul, especially on Earth, at least, for now. Because once you're separated from the oneness, part of you has that deep not wanting to exist. Yeah. So if you're hitting those spaces, if you can go into them, not avoiding the feelings, and being real with God source, however you perceive that, which can be, F you, God, I hate you, you're a masochist, sadist, you suck as a God, you've created a piece of crap earth, okay? This is normal feelings when you're going through the dark night. Or completely, I am the one soul on the universe that God can't rescue. He can rescue everyone else, but my problems are so twisted, so bizarre, so horrible, I am beyond being able to be rescued. This is another favorite thing the mind will throw at you. Mm-hmm. It's so predictable, actually. After a while, it is so predictable. And in fact, the mind is telling me right now, it says, I'm kind of bored that you humans are so easy to trigger into that stuff. Come up with some new stuff, you know. Come on, let's play. Come on. I know I'm making a little light of it fun. It's pretty heavy stuff, I know. So when you're feeling this stuff, I wrote, my book, Shackled Gods, was a book I wrote during a time when I was going into my own pit. Jesus went into the pit. After the crucifixion, what did he do? He went to where? To hell. He didn't go off into heaven instantly and go, thank God, I'm done with that. No. Mm-hmm. And neither did Shiva. Shiva spends time in the dark places with the tormented souls to help them. That's what he likes to do. You may not want to do that. You don't have to. It's a completely free will universe. You can do it any way you want. But you can't beat the system. I posted something today on Facebook about you can't beat the energy game. The energy game is what it is. Energy does not lie. Mental masturbation lies all the time, making up philosophical theories and ideas and this and that and getting lost. Yeah, you can do that for eons. You're welcome to. But it's fine. No one judges you for it. You can do it whatever you want. But there is real energy. Real energy is very different than that. Real energy means you got to get real with the energetic system that you were issued or that you created on your original birthday, which includes all your chakras, your asshole, your genitals, your stomach, your butterflies, your feelings, your heart. Those are the most neglected. The The first 4 chakras are the most neglected, therefore the most twisted. If you neglect children or puppies, what happens to them? They get twisted. If you leave a child home in a cage all day long, what happens to them? If you neglect them, they get twisted emotionally. Well, if you neglect your first 4 chakras, they get twisted too.
Yeah, definitely. Making a lot of sense here, Tobias. Gosh, we have to take a break again. This is going way too fast. So let's definitely talk about that when we come back and how we can maybe discern our energies from other people's energies. Because I know sometimes, we may be triggered and we think it's, we're not really sure, is this really me or is this coming from outside myself? So we can discuss that after this short break. Stay tuned. Tobias Lars here on SoulJourneysRadio.com.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
No rules, no rules. No taboo topics, no taboo topics. No fear of doom, no fear of doom. We are American Freedom Radio. American Freedom Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Top of the second hour here tonight. Soul Journeys Radio on AmericanFreedomRadio.com. And if you would like to join us for the text chat, that's over at SoulJourneysRadio.com. And any questions or comments, please feel free to give us a call at 218-339-8525. That's 218-339-8525. Tobias Lars is the author of Listening to the Sun and Awakening Souls, as well as Shackled Gods. I'm glad you're getting that out there now. You can find them at his website at soulcounseling.com. And he's not just doing seminars in person. He's going to be starting them on the phone as well. So you can go to courseofawakening.com to find out about that. And hopefully we will talk about that later on in the show tonight. But Tobias, we left off talking about the neglected chakras and discerning our energies versus other people's energies. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on the neglected chakra thing.
and that, that makes sense. I'm working on a book here. I hope I got this new Dragon software where we can talk into it, and it feels like it wants to come. Call it the full spectrum human, to get back fully into our whole system. Yeah. And to do that, you have to clean it out. It's sort of like unused rooms in the mansion. You have to go in there and open the drapes and peel the stuff off the furniture, dust it out, get some fresh air and light in there. And it's the same thing we have to do with these nooks and crannies in our bodies. Now, this does itself naturally. You just have to say yes. Can you say yes? Yes.
Yes.
All you have to be able to do is say yes. You have to only be able to surrender, to acquiesce, to say, I yield to the will of the source of my own higher self in my experience, in me. And then this will start to happen. Now, that often will rearrange your life. It will rearrange your relationships. It will rearrange your finances. When I went through my first awakening, and often a mentor will step into your life, and you won't know it. It'll be someone you're very attracted to, or a spiritual practice you're very attracted to, or it may just happen out of the blue. Something may happen that triggers your awakening. Now, there's people out there who say the Kundalini awakening is very dangerous. It is. It is. So is driving a car. Come on, get real, right? I mean, that's
so
ridiculous.
Drinking more tap water.
Yeah. Again, it's, yes, if you're trying to heal and reclaim your power, the monsters and those parts of yourself that you've compartmentalized in your brain inside your own consciousness will have staked their claim and say, this is my territory, and you have to kick them out. They're like squatters in your field. And these are called demons or mind parasites or dysfunctions or, traumatic patterns in the psychological world. They're all accurate descriptions. So as you decide to do this, they don't always go easily. It's sort of like barbs in your skin or something. You need to get them out of you, And the shamans see them as barbs. They're little barbs. They actually throw barbs at each other, shamans. They will hook each other and do all kinds of stuff. And you don't have to go into all that. In a sense, protects you. And our guidance does protect us. Praying to our higher self, praying to Jesus, praying to God, Source, be here with me, help me. I pray, God, Christ, Masters. I often do that. God, Christ, Masters, be here with me. That includes everybody who's on that program, the Real Awakening program. If you don't like that, pick what you like. And there's so much help out there. But this cleaning our own house, it will present itself to you, and this is how it does it. Once you learn an inner energy practice, innerbodyawakening.com, simplest technique. I'm looking at Shiva and Shakti's picture right here. Beautiful picture of the two of them together. This is an ancient practice from Lemuria, the first motherland after Pangaea. After that came Atlantis, and India is a part of that. That whole Indian subcontinent pushed up into Asia and created the Himalayas. It's like wrinkles, they got pushed up in there. Bali, India, Madagascar, few of the islands out there, Indonesia, are part of the original Mu. Lemuria still left over, and it goes off into the Pacific. But Shiva had this ancient technique of simply feeling your inner energy. Remember, recall, be conscious. And Eckhart Tolle talks about it briefly in his book, The Power of Now. So I've fleshed that method out. I do it all the time. Why? Because it makes me feel sane, makes me feel good. And as you get these detoxing things, it's sort of like restless soul syndrome. Okay, you've heard of restless leg syndrome, right? People have that at night. You're going to have some restless soul syndrome, okay, in the sense that you're going to be irritated, not able to settle down, not able to relax. So one full divine breath and feeling your inner body is one of the simplest, most direct techniques. I do recommend the method I've put out there, Inner Body Awakening, because I walk you through it. Once you do it 10 times, you got it. Once you learn to ride a bike, I mentioned it, you do it 10 times, you kind of get it. Then you get better and better at it. And you can do it as you go, on the fly. And just noticing your inner energy body starts detoxing some of the dark stuff. So when this started happening to me, somebody asked if I could talk a little bit about it, what happened to me personally. So I went through a Kundalini chakra awakening, activating the first two chakras. Yes, those places we shouldn't talk about, the orange and the red, and God forbid, the black chakra. Did you know there's an 8th chakra below your tailbone, about between your knees? It's about the size of a basketball, and it is a black chakra. But we are so removed from that, we don't even acknowledge that. Just like we don't acknowledge the 8th, I would call it the 9th. The 8th sun, the Mayas call it the 8th sun above your head, about the size of a basketball, about 10 inches above your head, is a sun, a literal representation of the sun. That's your chakra outside your body. And as we develop as humans here, we will recall these larger parts of ourselves. Just like the first chakra, the black chakra, connects you to all things dark, the mother, the matrix, the womb, the underworld, which is all good. It's all God. So does the sun chakra above your head connect you to all things solar, light. This judgment of that light is good and dark is bad is stupid. It's just ridiculous. Imagine if there was sunlight all the time and you never got the night. How would you feel?
Yeah, that'd be boring.
You go. It's only mad dogs and Englishmen that go out in the midday sun. Because dogs go mad. Humans go mad. If you stick someone in a room and have a light on them the whole time, they will go crazy. We need the darkness. Not just to create melatonin in your brain, but it's just part of the natural cycle. So of course we need the dark. So we, in our infinite wisdom, decide to listen to Lucifer, whatever you want to call the ego mind. Let's just have light all the time, and we'll be happy. And here we are. We're psychotic, demented, destructive, on the brink of complete annihilation culture right now. Everyone is just pretending to have it together. Everyone you talk to, if you scratch them just a little bit, you'll find their life is a total frickin' mess. Or they feel it's a total frickin' mess. And they feel on the brink of barely surviving. That's the reality for the majority right now on the planet Earth.
Definitely.
So how has that worked for us? This, I want to try to just go for the light all the time. That's why Buddha finally awakens. Feel this one, feel this one. So for years, he has everything. He's a prince. He's beautiful. He's been protected. His daddy has been protecting him. Buddha's father builds a wall around the compound. He has everything he wants. Food, sex. It was fine, too. He could have every kind of woman he wanted. He's a young man. Totally good. Inside the walls. And his father's just protecting him. Can you say denial? The walls are the denial. We want to protect and keep a little paradise in our heads. Finally, one day, Buddha crawls over the wall, and he goes out there, and he sees three things. He sees a person dying. He sees starvation. He sees old age, death. I forget what else. He sees three shocking things to him. He realizes, I've been lied to. This is our experience on Earth, too. We realize, God, I've been lied to. My parents lied to me. There is no Santa Claus. And it's bullshit what I'm taught in my religious church, most of it, except for the part about Jesus being loving and wants to help you. And you have this horrible, shocking wake-up, or your Buddhist tradition or Muslim tradition, doesn't matter. They're all BS. Most of that stuff. 85% of the stuff you're taught in religionism is BS. 15% of it is true.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Separate the truth from the BS. You'll be all right. So Buddha then finally says, I've been lied to. It's totally I'm going to go out and find real enlightenment. And he spends years trying everything, all this stuff, fighting for reaching nirvana, meditating 18 hours a day, starving himself, standing on his head, wandering everywhere, trying everything, suppressing his sexuality completely. Does it all. Finally, one day in a village in southern India under a banyan tree, he says, forget it. I don't want to do any of the resisting anymore. Yeah. He lets go. And something happens, and he laughs for 7 days, and then people start worshiping him. Do it for us, Master. Do it for us, Master. Do it. Touch me, Master. Do it for me. And he says, no, what I have in me, you have in you. But you have to do it. Enlightenment's door swings inward. You got to do your own inner energy practice. There's no way around it. You got to do it yourself. All the false religions, Jesus will do it all for me. No, he won't. He'll save your sorry ass when you get yourself in massive trouble. And he'll help encourage you. And he'll give you a dose of energy and get you all high on the Holy Ghost and speaking in tongues and all this stuff. And you'll just get all excited about heaven. Right? You'll go off into all that and do all that stuff. Yeah, beautiful. You'll have healings. You'll heal people. You'll be on fire for the Lord. Right? Yeah. I've been in all those Pentecostal churches. And it's all good. It's all good. But it's not the whole picture. You got to claim it for yourself. Stop calling yourself a saint, the saints of God, and actually become a saint for God.
Yeah.
Actually becomes it. And it's a hard journey. It is not easy because we are heroin addicts. So your natural triggers, for me what happened, I got all that energy started, and I'm out there teaching a seminar with my friend. We're in New York. We're traveling. We did this spa first. We did this spa in Scottsdale, and I'm like, finally one day I just tell him, I say, I can't do it anymore. I don't ever want to do anything anymore out of the old way of thinking I have to. This was me self-initiating my next paradigm shift. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to do anything I don't really want to do anymore. Now think of all the things you do that you don't really want to do. For most people. Most people go to a job they hate.
Yeah.
Okay? They're with someone they don't really want to be with.
Yeah.
They're not living their dreams. Right? Because that, in the state of not having faced your shadow, that is your reality. That is, you're in hell already. You might as well risk your life. You are in hell already. You might as well risk it.
Definitely.
So, for me, what happened was instant divorce, bankruptcy. My friends think I'm suicidal, going crazy. I move away from the little house on the golf course, and we're off in some little apartment somewhere. My ego gets humbled, you know. I'm driving cars, these limos, for the hotels in Phoenix, Arizona, with my master's degree in business, and my friends are traveling the world, working for banks, you know, all that stuff, right?
Mm.
And my mother and dad are kind of like, did you actually...
We don't know him.
No, they were actually beautiful about it.
Oh.
And because God will have people working with you. And so I sat I've tried to get addicted to drinking. I said, fuck it, I'm going to drink alcohol. I bought like Johnny Walker Black, you know, I'm buying cigarettes and now. So I'm going to try everything. Now, I've been such a good yogi, I'm sick of it, right? So let's do all of it. And dating and, you know, being with everybody I could think of, right, and all that. And cool. And being real. And it was scary as hell. And wonderful. But I noticed that people kind of, you know, withdrew from me, which was perfect. And I didn't judge them for that. I understand that. So, and what I found was just sitting in my room, right, as it slowly becomes my tomb, right? Yeah. And I would have these beings show up for me. Jesus would show up, and some dark masters. Nahala is this being who looks like what people would call the devil. Imagine someone with dark skin and a tail. But see, the Tibetans know about these guys. He's Nahala. He's one of the gods of the Tibetan pantheon. They know a little bit more about that it's dark and light. And they're both everything. So I would sit and feel my feelings. And my book, Shackled Gods, is some of my being very, very honest about the things in my Pandora's box. Opening the pit. The pit shall be reanimated.
Mm.
Because all those things will have to come out of the pit for it to be healed. If you shackle a pit bull in his pit, that's a lot of strong energy that needs to be set free.
Definitely.
So that's what we've done to ourselves. And that's what's happening on the earth in a very loving way, actually. Also, I learned to play music. Wow. I actually felt some of my dark stuff, and all of a sudden, this energy flooded into me, and I had all this inspiration. Because you're making room for your real soul. Why do they call it soul? Why do artists go through this stuff? Because it's how you have to do to get some of that energy back in your being.
Mm. Excellent, Tobias. Very beautiful. Very well said. But it is that time again, unfortunately. And I do see we have a caller on the line. We'll get to you after this short break. Stay tuned. Tobias Lars.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American
It's practically narcotics.
Freedom
Oh, yes, I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
All right, welcome back, and thanks for joining us here tonight with Tobias Lars, St. Toby One Kenobi, here on SoulJourneysRadio.com. And Tobias, it looks like we have a few callers on the line, but would you like to finish up before we move on?
I think you're right. We should just do a part 3, too, and delve into it more deeply, you know. But I just wanted to finish up with when you start feeling into what you've judged. Oh, I'll tell one more story. So while this process is happening to me, I'm learning to accept peace, to accept the emptiness, the empty fullness. Now, the East talks a little bit more about this, you know. Buddha talks about the emptiness. And in the emptiness, you find your fullness. And we know there's something archetypally that rings true when we hear someone say that. And so when I'm going through this process, you know, everything's being taken away from me, including everything, really, you know. I call it the holy trifecta of awakening in the book. You've heard it, Christie, but, you know, it's like bankruptcy, divorce, and then the trifecta would be if you get cancer.
Woohoo! You scored!
Exactly. Triple winner.
Yeah.
But I say I wasn't brave enough to get the cancer because I would have ascended immediately, probably. But as it was, I had all huge energies waking up inside my body and feeling incredibly connected and powerful and being able to talk to nature and see into the other, feel into the other dimensions. This was the first time Osho showed up in my life, too, by the way. He showed up on the local cable channel. I used to like be there, hating everything on TV, and then I go, I like this guy. He's kind of cool. You know, kind of like that, right? And someone would play his videos on the local cable TV that nobody watched. But one day during this process, I'm up in Prescott, Arizona, on Lynx Lake. It's this little lake outside of town surrounded by beautiful pine trees. And it gets real winter. It just happens to be on the north slope, and so it gets real winter. And for a Christmas morning, I was there spending in this house out there. And there's eagles that hang around this lake, by the way, that Joy and I have seen later. So I was there with a friend, and the morning of Christmas it snowed, you know, just quiet, fresh snow. No one's out and about. It's Christmas morning. And I go for a walk. This is while I'm being taught about the emptiness, that's okay, that which we have feared. There's a painter, I think, who paints those robes, the Indian robes, the Native American robes, that are empty. There's just a blackness inside them. And this is the no-name masters. And this is where I first met them when this happened. Christmas morning, I'm walking out along the road. There's nobody driving. There's total quiet, absolute quiet after a freshly fallen snow. As I'm down the road a little bit, I get a feeling to turn to my left. That's symbolic too, right? To turn to my left, go up over this little hill. I just get a feeling I should go here. As soon as I crest the hill, I look down into this little tiny valley, you know, and there's a circle of pine trees. And in the middle of the circle of pine trees, there were 50, I'm not exaggerating, 50-ish crows, 50 crows and ravens. They were walking on the ground. Check this out. Now this is, it's black magic, it's scary. Shut up. Get a life. You know? Get real.
Yeah, butterflies are the CIA. God, really?
Come on, get real. Peace is in my belly and in my heart and my body. They look at me, I surprise them. It's Christmas morning. Are you kidding? Most humans are like, you know what? They're stuck in their boxes opening presents, right? What normal human is out walking at whatever it was, 7 a.m. on Christmas morning? I was. So they thought they were safe from all the humans, right? So I surprised them in their little thing, whatever they were doing. 50 crows walking in a circle on the snow, in the snow, about a 30-foot circle. As I crest the hill, they all turn and look at me and fly up into the trees. They're sitting around the circle in the trees now. I, in my go where angels fear to tread, innocent youngness, walk right down into the center of the circle.
Nice.
And I can see the tracks. Now, there's crow tracks everywhere, but you can tell that they've been walking around the edge of it. It's like a circle. They've been doing some ritual, some circle energy, some spinning energy thing, which is all things are made of spiraling energy. Ayahuasca journeys, you will spiral through dimensions. I stand in the middle of the circle, and they're kind of glaring at me. You know, they're like, what are you doing? You shouldn't be here. I can tell they're not that excited, but I can also hear that there's their guardian spirit, their guidance is telling them, you need to let this human do this. They're like complaining. It's sort of like dogs being held back. They're like, we want to... Yeah. They're looking at me, giving me the kind of, we're annoyed with you eye. And I'm opening my arms and my heart, and I'm saying, show me, God Source, what's going on here? Who are you guys? What are you guys doing, you know? And I get a message, beautiful message. And I see the crows change into those Native American robes, which are empty. There's nothing inside the robe. There's a famous painter, I forget his name, who paints them. They're beautiful. Or maybe George O'Keeffe did some of them, I don't know. But they're just these beautiful Native American robes, and when you look inside it, there's no face. There's just a blackness, an emptiness, the mother, the matrix, the void, the womb. The crows turn into them. That's what they are. I just couldn't handle seeing them physically. Yeah. It would have overwhelmed me. I would have, pooped my pants and fallen over, fainted or something. So they we'll look like crows for it. And that all happens automatically. It's so beautiful. So I asked them, who are you guys? What are you doing? And they talk to me, and they tell me something like this. I can't remember it now, and you can't recreate these sacred moments. But they say basically, we are the no names. We are the no names. We no longer need names. We are simply energies that hold space, we are like pillars of holding space. And what we're doing here is none of your business.
Oh, goodness.
They told me that sort of, but they're like saying, you're not ready for that, or that's our business. It was amazing. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so this was when I was first learning that it is important to learn to just hold space. In other words, can you go sit and be quiet in the forest? Can you sit and be quiet with yourself? Can you feel oh, God, I'm hearing the lyrics from a Danzig song, in a darkened room, in the empty quiet, in the darkened room. Something like that. It's a song of his called How the Gods Kill. And I know most people will freak out when they see that imagery. And this is what God was teaching me, too. He says, look at this imagery that people have labeled evil. It's not evil, and especially in the West, because you've so schizophrenized it and dichotomized it, you've labeled it evil. Shiva doesn't have that knowledge of good and evil. Neither does Jesus at this point, by the way. He works with every level of the universe. And that is where we're headed, too. So what's been called the dark night of the soul is when we start re-embracing these other aspects of ourselves, the peace, the quiet. They're reptilian. I don't want to scare David Icke by saying that, but
Boo.
I know, I'm kidding. But no, Icke's doing a tremendous job. I want to see him. He's beautiful. But, but you can't, we're reptilians. Your first part of your brain that develops is the reptilian brainstem.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that develops as the ambulance goes by.
They're coming to take you away. Hee hee.
Exactly. So, yes, if I tell these stories in certain places, that's exactly what I get. But so it was beautiful, and I loved that experience, and I'm so grateful to the Crows and the Elder Brothers and the Elder Native American Guardian Guide Spirits. And they're like, we don't have names, Tobias. We've evolved past that. We are the no names. We hold space. And you did surprise us, but it was a setup. And it was beautiful for them, too. And as I'm feeling it right now, I can hear Source telling me, I say God, it's our own higher selves, don't freak out, that, Tobias, you were a message for them, too, at that time. You were bringing a innocence of light and blue light into their circle that really would be helpful for the balancing for them, and I talked to them afterwards about that. Therefore, their psychic knowing couldn't tell that you were coming. I hid that for them. Because usually they would know. Beings that are aware will know if anybody's approaching. But I definitely surprised them. And so in my physical reality, it was 50 crows and ravens walking in the snow. Beautiful. And with my psychic sight and my feeling, I could feel that they were these beings. And this is why in the Native American tradition, often the raven and the crow are messengers of the spirits, because that's the form that we can handle. We can't handle a human being flying through the air. We'd go, it's weird. That's not right, But that's more literal, is actually the Merkaba, the true Merkaba, the soft human Merkaba, the true flying vehicle that we are. That's more like a cloud of light or an egg of light, and this is what true shamans talk about. And this is what we're headed back to. If you want these abilities, if you want these powers, you need to develop an inner practice. You need to feel your feelings and emotions. You need to heal your personality. You need to heal your ego. God is no respecter of persons.
Yeah.
All that personal history needs to be erased. You need to transcend. You need to have transpersonal psychology beyond your personality. If you want to merge into the oneness, you have to leave little name and fame and place behind. When people ask Babaji, who are you, where are you born, he never talks about that. That has long ceased to be relevant. I was born somewhere, I had a name, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. That's exactly what Don Gennaro tells Carlos Castaneda in that tradition. He says, look, we were all born somewhere. We had a mom and a dad. It was good, it was bad. We had sisters, we had dysfunctions, we had personality crises, we had foibles and this and that, and all kinds of crap happened to us. We got married, we had kids, we had this, we died. We've all done it.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you want to move into the larger, the personal water melts into the larger water is one of the lines from my book, Shackled Gods. The personal water melts into the larger water.
Yeah, definitely.
So you can have this, but you cannot have this unless you face your antithesis, your own dark shadow, that which you have put there to keep you trapped in this. This is why you have to die here. If you want to conquer death, if you want to overcome death, as Jesus mentions, or Babaji has done, or some other people talk about, the Taoist immortals, most people can't handle that here at all. This is really the fallen state on Earth. It is really fallen. We live for a short 80 years, our bodies decay, while we yak about eternal life in our religionist places.
Yeah. Tobias, I'm just looking at the clock here, and we have a few callers on the line. Do you want to try to get to them?
I'm ready. I'll see if I can stay present.
Are you ready? Okay, we'll see. Let's see if Toby can stay present. Our first caller tonight is area code 347. Welcome to the show.
Jesus Christ, about damn time. Wow, Tobias. Wow.
Now, that's really good. There's a little dark shadow right there. Go ahead.
Way to go, textbook mouth.
Yeah. Textbook mouth.
What's your question, young caller?
Yes.
Young caller. Yes. Yes, Yoda. Actually, it's not so much of a question. It's just that, like, my ass is severely burnt right now. And what you're saying really resonates with me because I'm really just getting tired of seeing these Facebook posts and everybody, all these pseudo shamans, all these fake ass light workers. Oh, it's about love. Oh, you're not allowed to get upset about anything. In fact, I was just criticized on Facebook because I went off on somebody acting stupid with Christie. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's like, hello, she's not these women that, oh, I'm going to heal you by sleeping with you. It's like, take 5 seconds, duh. And then go off on somebody that's going to talk stupid to her because that's what I do. Mm-hmm. And then someone has a comment, oh, I'm really offended by his anger. I'm offended by his anger. Well, how come you're not offended by the stupid comment that moron said to her? I mean, it's like, why do I got to look at, why I got to be loving all the time? I almost cursed.
I thought you did, and it just cut you off, kind of. That was interesting. I agree. We have to appreciate, absolutely. We need, the most healing thing we could do is to sit in a room with a whole bunch of people that are ready for it and just frickin' be angry with each other. It's so healing. It's so healing. It's so healing.
Let's do it. All right. Well, I hate you and I hate this break, but we got to do it, so we'll be back. So, yes, I hate you very much. Stay tuned. And, hang on the line. We'll get right back to you after this short break. Stay tuned. Tobias.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
Welcome to the world's meeting place. American.
It's practically narcotics.
Freedom.
Oh, yes, I like very much.
Radio.
You're an American institution.
American Freedom Radio.
Back, and thanks for joining us here. Last segment tonight with St. Toby, one Kenobi, Tobias Lars of soulcounseling.com. We were delving into the dark night of the soul, and I do believe, I agree, Tobias, that we're going to need a part 3 of this topic next week. But we just have a few short minutes left, unfortunately. So it appears our buddy with the burned booty, spending way too much time in tanning salons, Louis, is still on the line. So, all right.
Don't be mad because I get a golden tan, a nice brown tan when I go into the sun instead of turning into a lobster. Anyway.
I'm a Greek goddess, thank you.
Yeah. Anyways.
All right. Let's hear it.
I'm just really tired of people criticizing. Oh, you're so angry. Oh, love is gonna save the day. I'm sorry. If someone's coming at me with a knife, I'm not gonna love him away.
Hey, Louis,
down
how
to
about
my
this?
hatred and rage.
I hear all that. Louis, what if you could say to people, too, you can say, is not anger part of God?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're talking about a God that turned some, nosy bitch into a pile of salt.
Mm-hmm. Right.
See? I know the Bible.
Yeah. So you can just say to people, maybe I'm a reflection of your own inner anger if you're getting triggered by me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and it's not just that, it's like people are so afraid of anger or that type of reaction. They start telling other people what to do with their lives. It's like, Linda, have you bought any Modifiland? Shut up.
Okay, all right. So this is really good, actually. And Louis, for you, too, to be able to, at some point in your life, to go, people can be as stupid as they want to be. That's their right, correct?
Yeah, just don't, keep your mouth shut to me unless, like my father used to say, is he giving you clothes on your back? Is he putting food in your belly? Is she blanking your blank in her mouth? No? Goddamn.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's like they have no damn, it's like, I'm sorry, you can't just be going around preaching love when there's some bad crap, something about it, you're going to get pissed off about it. You should be allowed to be pissed off about it. And these same people that preach love, they get pissed off for what you say because you're being honest with your oops.
Yeah. Yeah. And Louis, for you, too, to allow, at some point, you can't fix everybody. You have to allow them to be scared, Louis, right? Because they are going to be scared. They are going to be judgmental. They are going to be trying. And then to try to find that compassion, too. I allow people, real masters allow all of it. It's all good, but there's also a wanting to evolve, a wanting to heal, And so often our anger is a sign to us of there's something frickin' wrong in the state of Denmark. This is BS. This isn't right. And so receiving the anger, and then also maybe for you, Louis, who knows, if you get tired of getting triggered and pissed off at people, you might say, okay, I don't want to waste my anger energy, if that's what you're feeling, and go, yep, people are unconscious, they're scared. A lot of people are scared. When they're scared, when they say, love, let's go worship the Lord, let's praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, it's a lot of fear involved because they're afraid to look at their own dark stuff. And so they have to blame it all on who? The devil.
Louis.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I blame Louis. No.
Yeah, everyone freaking blames Louis. I'm surprised they haven't started the Louis cause. Freaking march me into a damn oven like a Jew. I mean, come on.
There you go. The scapegoat. Exactly.
Freaking throw me into Auschwitz. Everyone's so upset. Oh, I got gout, because Louis so damn hateful. Goodness.
Hey, good point, Louis. Thanks so much. That's a good point, yeah.
Now you're effing me off. All right, thanks, Tobias. See you later.
We got 6 minutes left. I thought there was some other
don't blame me. Don't blame me because you got a big mouth. Jesus.
Who's the kettle calling? Who's kettle calling the pot black?
I love you, Louis.
Hey.
Oh.
Stay black.
All right.
We will. All right.
There's the kettle calling the pot black. At least we're black. That's fine. Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else?
Let's do it. We do have another one. Area code 503. Welcome to the show.
Yay, it's me.
Hi, me.
Hi, it's Kimberly.
Hi, Kimberly. What's your question tonight?
Well, I don't think I have a question, really. I just wanted to say hi with my voice and thank Tobias and you, of course, for being there and putting this out there because it is just so beautiful and it flows so freely and it's just, we need it.
That's nice.
And you're answering the call.
Thank you. Is this Kim Love on Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Good to hear your voice.
cool.
Thank you.
And that's my intention. What feels good through my being and body is may it help and serve and make people not feel so crazy, or it's like a voice of reality, sanity. Okay.
Yeah.
Feeling the pain. And not to wallow in it, not to go, I gotta go feel my dark night of the soul to be real. There's a balance in there somewhere, you know. But this constant stressing ourselves to have to put on a good face, it's just freaking tiring, you know. Get real. And that's what I was saying about Buddha. When Buddha finally let go and said, forget it, I don't want to fight for or against anything. I just want to be. That is something that can start happening. And that doesn't mean you have that fake, spaced-out, peaceful thing going on that gurus have to represent. No. It means you can be real like Louie about your feelings, and I'm freaking angry at that. Shut the hell up. Perfect. But do it consciously. Or you can sit in peace and hold beautiful, loving space, or cry, or feel love and tenderness, and all of it is God. All of it is good in its right timing. That's becoming the natural human. I want to be a natural human. My dog has no problem being a natural dog. I want to be a natural human again. I don't want to be this unnatural pretending. And at the same time, compassion for all of us that are trying hard, you know. That trap of trying to be a good person and good intentions, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You know, that compassion that Buddha feels, that Jesus feels for us, pieces of us, others that are caught in this efforting, trying. You know, we're trying. 85% of the people on the planet are good people. We're good people, most everybody. It's just that we've been hidden from the real tools. And one of the real tools is don't be afraid of the dark. The dark, you are bigger than any dark parts of yourself. So thanks for saying. I hope that's my intention in my heart. You're good. You're good. You're fine. Whatever you're feeling, it's fine. God's there with you. It's all healable. It's all healable. Even in your darkest hour, it's all healable.
It's true. I mean, hold on, buddy. No, it's so true. I mean, it's just unbelievable how much a person can go through and in the end realize, well, I really am okay. You know, I'm not alone. That's what I love about the Internet, is that now we know that there's others like us.
Yeah.
Yay! We're not alone!
You know?
I'm not going crazy by myself. And
all right. Well,
and so when we go through things, wake up calls, that's the time we start seeking God, if you will, seeking that which is inside us. And that is the key, I find. You can always just say, God, be here with me, be here with me, be here with me. You can't do anything else. I can't do any dang meditation techniques, yoga, forget it. Just be here with me, God, help me out. And that's always there, you know? So don't.
Well, you know,
go ahead.
You talked about the church. I left the church right before it turned 1999 because I kept hitting a brick wall, because following in the religious aspect of finding God, it never, ever, ever worked.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you'd have little places where, you know, where you felt like, okay, but then it didn't stick. How's that?
It's ritual.
You know what I'm saying?
The same thing over and over and over again.
It is. Yeah, when I started learning about looking at me, everything changed.
Yeah.
And, you know, and every day I have to relook at myself, right?
I die daily, Paul said. What does he really mean by that? Don't just repeat it as a parrot out there in our churches. That means you might wake up. Like I had the episode at the gym a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, I could barely remember my name, you know? So I wanted to tell people, if you're interested in the teleclass this Sunday, I'm starting the online community too, or through the phone. Go to courseofawakening.com, click on the seminar button on the right. We're going to start doing these once a week. I love you, Christie. Thank you.
All right. Thanks so much for your call, Kimberly, and everyone else, Louie, and thank you all for joining us here. And just in case you didn't get that, Tobias is doing his Course of Awakening seminars online. So just go to courseofawakening.com. He's starting this Sunday, so check it out. You can also check it out on Facebook. Just go to Course of Awakening. Thank you, Tobias. Thank you all for joining us here tonight. I love you. I know you do, but you'll be back. Gluttons for punishment we are. Have an awesome weekend, everyone. Abundant blessings and love to you all.
It's time to get real and heal. MyTrueEssence.net would like to tell you about Modifiland brown seaweed extract. It's composed of an elementally rich seaweed called laminaria. It takes 40 pounds of laminaria to make just 1 pound of Modifiland. There's nothing else like Modifiland. It is the richest in alginate, fucoidin, organic iodine, and lamarian. Alginates are the most effective organic element in nature that enable the body to rid itself of heavy metals, radioactive elements, and toxins. Fucoidin is an extremely effective anti-cancer substance found abundantly in brown seaweed. Organic iodine is the greatest protection for the thyroid offered by nature. Laminarin aids in the prevention and treatment of cardiovascular disease. Go to www.mytrueessence.net and click the Modifiland banner to get started on your path to rich health today. Also check out the Healing Shop for proven essential oils, medicinal teas, and even health coaching. It's time to get real and heal. Go to www.mytrueessence.net.
Get real and heal. Listen to Christie on Soul Journeys Radio.
You're listening to the future of talk. American Freedom Radio. This is American Freedom Radio.